Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Bose and I'm a teacher, an author, and an instructional designer. I'm here today to help you teach your K-2 learners about comparing 1- and 2-digit numbers. We'll even talk a little bit about 3-digit numbers. We'll discuss some foundational skills and vocabulary that they'll need to have, some activities to strengthen those skills that I've used in my own classrooms, and how to introduce the greater than, less than, and equal sign using the power of story-based instruction. Let's get started. First, they need to have a strong number sense. Before beginning your instruction on comparing numbers, make sure your learners have a solid understanding of counting. They must be able to count orally as well as show a one-to-one correspondence in counting objects. Before asking them to compare digits, they must be able to compare quantities. Give them many examples and opportunities to experience varying quantities of things, even liquids and gases. Let them explain to you how they know which ones have more or less than others. Their explanations may surprise and even amuse you, but they are essential to locking in their understanding of this concept. The next step is to introduce the vocabulary. I recommend doing it very subtly by interchanging the words more than and greater than in your conversations about quantities. Less than pretty much stays the same, but using these terms and encouraging your students to use them paves the way for using the symbols later. The next step is ensuring that they know the digits and the quantities they represent. At this point, you'll want to start including the digits that represent the quantities. Start with lower numbers and gradually increase their size as the students become more confident in understanding larger quantities. Begin by showing each digit with the counters, then circling the one that is greater or less than the other. Counters work well for smaller numbers. Snap cubes are a great way to let them physically stack the quantities up and then visually compare them. Have them talk about how 5 is more than or greater than 2 and how 2 is less than 5. Cuisenaire rods are one of my favorite math manipulatives. Each one is 1 unit longer than the next, making quantities very easy to see and compare. Students can not only strengthen overall number sense with these amazing little rods, they can become quite adept at using them for a variety of purposes. Comparing numbers is just one way to use them, and I highly recommend having a full set in your classroom. I'll include a link in the description where you can order your own set. Base 10 blocks work very well for larger numbers, but hold off on introducing hundreds until they are quite comfortable with tens and ones. Once they are familiar with the 3D base 10 blocks, you can let them draw lines and dots to represent the numbers. This works great when using dry erase boards with the whole class or in a small group. Everyone shows you their answers, and this can make a great formative assessment tool. This is a number balance and is another of my favorite math teaching tools. It can be used in a variety of ways and works great for comparing numbers. Students simply hang tags on the numbers they wish to compare. The side with the greater number will go down and the side with the lesser number will go up. Another great visual representation of a number's value. And, of course, if the numbers are the same, the scale stays level. I love these number balances. I highly recommend having one or more of them in your classroom. I'll be showing you ways to use number balances to teach other skills in my other math videos, so be sure to check them out. I'll also drop a link in the description for how you can order one or more of your own. Numbered playing cards, dice, coins, or dominoes can also be used to teach about comparing numbers. These make great centers, and coming up, I'll show you a few different ways this can be done. Eventually, they'll be able to consider quantities just by the digits that represent them. To assess their readiness with this, have them write 2 digits on a paper or dry erase board and tell them to circle which one is greater than or less than the other. Do this with equal numbers as well. Allow them to explain their reasoning to you. This not only gives you insight into their understanding, but it also supports peer teaching where students can help each other learn. These are just a few suggestions for strengthening kids' number sense, but I'd love to hear your ideas too. So please comment below and share what has worked well for you. And if you've been getting value from this video, I invite you to hit that like button. Coming up, I'll show you how to leverage the power of story-based instruction on this topic as I share a bit of my book about comparing numbers, and I'll even share more ideas for centers and formative assessments you can use on this topic in your classroom. Once your learners have a solid grasp of comparing quantities and associating that with comparing the digits that those quantities represent, it's time to introduce the greater than, less than, and equal signs. This is where my book comes in quite handy. It's called Atticus, the Number-Eating Alligator, and it's a fun and engaging way to introduce this concept. The story is about an alligator who isn't happy eating the regular things that alligators eat. But when he discovers number plants, he finds that the ones with greater value fill his tummy better. Since he is always hungry, he always opens his mouth towards the greater number because it will fill his tummy better. He also gets greedy when the numbers are the same and eats them both, as symbolized by the equal sign. He goes on to discover and experiment with 2-digit numbers and finds that the same principle applies. He learns to compare the ones digit if the tens digit is the same, and still gets greedy when they're both the same. Teach older students that this same process works for larger numbers too. The one with more digits is always greater than the one with fewer digits, but if they have the same number of digits, have them look at the first digit of each number and compare. If they are the same, move to the next digit, and so on until they reach a tiebreaker. If all the digits are the same, they should use the equal sign. Of course, if they still need visual support, use base 10 blocks to show the numbers and let them compare them. Again, squares, lines, and dots can be used as an intermediary visual cue. This book would make a great addition to your home or classroom library. Just visit my website, startwithastory.net, to order your copy today. It includes these reproducible practice pages that will give your students lots of practice using the greater than, less than, and equal signs in a way that is easy, fun, and gradually promotes their independence. The practice pages are also available separately on my website. Now for a few more ideas you can use to teach this concept. Using dry erase boards makes a great way to practice this skill and can serve as a quick formative assessment tool for you. Just give your students 2 numbers and ask them to write the correct numerical sentence to show their relationship. Remember those numbered playing cards, dice, coins, and dominoes I mentioned earlier? Here are some great ways to use them in math centers. One fun and easy to prepare practice activity or center idea is my dice game board. You can use this board with your kids to practice whatever math concept you may be teaching at the time. For this concept, the students would roll dice cubes and then write a number sentence using the greater than, less than, or equal sign to show the correct relationship between the numbers. They could do one number at a time or roll the dice twice to get 2-digit numbers to compare. This dice board game is available for free on my website and really does make an evergreen center as you can use it in so many ways. They can also play Order Up. In this activity, they draw 3 cards, coins, or dominoes, or roll 3 dice. Then they put them in order from least to greatest in the boxes at the top. Finally, they write 3 numerical sentences to show the relationships between any 2 of the 3 numbers. If they get 2 of the same number, they can put them in the same box. If you print these boards on cardstock and then laminate them, they can be used over and over again with dry erase markers. This one is also free on my website. Finally, alligator puppets like this one are a great way to keep your learners engaged with your lessons. If you'd like to order one just like this one, click the link in the description below. I hope you found this video helpful and that you'll check out my other videos that help teachers teach kids about math topics, language arts concepts, and life skills. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook and to visit my website, startwithastory.net, so you can check out all my books and resources for teaching kids. I'm Candace Bowes. Thank you for watching.